Hello, teacher friends. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about grading using Google Classroom. The first thing to know about grading in Google Classroom is that sad panda, it does not automatically import into Skyward. So you'll want to consider that when designing your assessments. Usually what I do is once I have things graded in Classroom, I just manually type them all in. There is some fancy way to download things as a CSV file and then import into Skyward. That is too fancy for me, so I just type them in manually. When you're interested in grading, one cool feature that Classroom has is if you go in the top left corner, you will see this little dude over here. If you click this to do, under teaching, it will bring you to this awesome and overwhelming list of assignments. So this allows you to see the name of the assessment, how many students have turned it in. I clearly need to grade this assignment. And then how many have been assigned. Once you have added in more assignments, obviously you're going to see more stuff. You can filter by class. So let's say that I only wanted to look at my test class, biology. I can filter that. I could look at my A days. So you can definitely do that. And then it has this to review and reviewed. So the idea being, once you have completed grading and assessment, you would switch it over to reviewed. To do that, so let's say I've graded 20 of them and I'm feeling pretty good about this gene expression, I can click my little three dots, mark as reviewed, and then it will disappear from my to-do list. Remember, it has not disappeared forever. It has just gone into the reviewed pile. I usually put things over in the reviewed area after I've added them into Skyward, just to help me to remember whether or not I have actually done that or not. So that is a feature. This feature is totally optional, so knock yourself out if you want it though. A lot of people like it. So you can use this to access a gradebook. So again, we'll go to my assessment, my fake class here. And if I click on it, it takes me right to the assignment. On the left here, there are a few options. You have a drop-down menu where you can sort. I oftentimes sort by first name, and then I will click by status. This works well for me because this is how I enter things into Skyward. If you would like, you can do mass functions too by clicking that top checkbox. The point total is up here, so if you made a boo-boo, you can go ahead and change the points or switch it to an ungraded assessment. If you were like, oh my gosh, I forgot a link on here, you can go to your instructions tab for that assessment, and you can go ahead and edit it if you wish. But we're gonna stick to that student work tab. That is where it kind of defaults to. Again, you can sort, right? It's pretty great. You can sort by assigned. I have no turned in on this one, so it's not gonna let me do that. And then graded. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna click on one of the students. And at this point, you can go ahead, look through their assessment. I am not going to show you how to do rubrics or anything too fancy on this one. Please watch one of my later videos if you want some fancier stuff. But like, let's say I've looked through it. I feel like this has hit my main goals. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in as a 1, all right? And then I'm gonna write a private comment, good work. And then I can post my good work comment. This has not yet returned the assignment to the student, right? So I only click return once I have entered things into Skyward. So you can, but let's say like this is a pretty big document, right? Let's pretend that I want to give some more specific feedback. This is a draft, perhaps, something like that. There are kind of two ways to do that. You can highlight some text in the area you're interested in, and then you'll notice that this little plus comes up. This is the comment box. So you can go ahead and type something like add more details, and then tab, enter. That will allow you to, click that. The kid, once they feel like they have addressed that topic sufficiently, you can go ahead and hit this resolve button, and then it will get rid of it. So this is really excellent for peer editing, peer review, drafts, using the same document for multiple drafts, things like that. For those of you who like shortcuts, I get annoyed at moving my mouse from here to here. It seems like a small thing, but it is a small thing turns into a big thing when you have 140 of these labs to grade. So I made a really fancy chart for you guys. If you hit Control-Alt-M after you have highlighted, you can use that to make a comment. And so Control-Alt-M, my comment box types up, I push high. And then I can push, you know how you tab over to different boxes? You push tab, now it has highlighted the comment, enter. And then you're good to go. I tend to use these comments more within the document rather than too many of these like private comments. On these comments here, this does only go to the student that you have assessed, no one else. Once I have finished this, I have my grade, I had my comment, I change things in here, I can go back up to the top and move on to my next student. Right now, you'll notice that she has the term assigned there. That means that she has not turned it in. So this student is probably not finished with this assessment. If you go to the drop-down menu up here too, you can sort by last name, by first name. The one I use the most is status because this shows things if they have been turned in, right? And then it will kind of guide you through that a little bit more. So you can click the arrows to go back and forth. And there you go. Now the neat thing about this is now that I have graded my assignment, if I go back to my previous tab, right, so that's in the top left corner here, you'll see that under this assessment, I now have my student. I wrote good work, and then you can see that it's graded a 1 out of 1 and that it's listed as a draft. Now I tend to, again, I grade the whole class, and then once I have graded a whole class, I will click them all, and then you can hit the return button. Yes, I'm sure. Neat thing here is that you can, again, add comments. Once I have lots of students, this will be a whole list of names, and you can send out like one comment to like 30 people. So maybe everybody did something wrong because disaster happened, I don't know. Or everybody did a great job. You can say, hey guys, you all did so great, so proud of you. On this screen as well, let's pretend that Megan had a question. If she had written a private comment to me on this assessment, it would also have shown up right here under her name. So I really like the student work tab because it shows some extra stuff, right? I can double check that kids didn't send me messages. Sometimes, I don't know, the Google Classroom notification system isn't perfect, and so it misses things occasionally. So doing a quick skim through this, every specific assignment can just help to make sure that you didn't like miss anything accidentally. So yeah, there we go. Some basics to get you started with your grading. And I hope that you have a super duper day. Bye.